Seminarians and deacons of the Diocese of Boya wrap up a 3-day annual meeting with His Lordship Michael Bibi, an opportunity where they express themselves and their zeal and also their challenges to the bishop. In Tico, youths of that deanery have been trained on the production of pastries and soap. This is within the context of a one-day career skills fair. Plus, a team of CMA members from the Tico Deanery has paid a visit to supervise the ongoing project of their national secretariat in the diocese. They left Boya satisfied with work done so far. In this newscast, we also hear that His Lordship Michael Bibi, Bishop of Boya, appoints some college staff and personnel to new functions ahead of the upcoming academic year. Those were our headlines. The news in details in the minutes ahead. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us on this other edition of Divine Mercy Prime. We begin the news now. Some new staff have been appointed to colleges and schools in the Diocese of Boya. The appointments were done yesterday, July 4, 2024, by the Bishop of Boya, His Lordship Michael Bibi. A full readout of the communique by Newsroom Editor Jude Mbaku.
July 4th, 2024, appointment of some college personnel for the 2024-2025 academic year. Mr. Kembutre Maurice Wombong from St. Joseph College Sase to St. Anne High School Limbe as Vice Principal. Mr. Richmond Ngumba from CKC Tico to Our Lady of Mount Kame Munya as Vice Principal and Academic Dean. Mr. Akeme Stephen from St. Joseph College Sase to Our Lady of Grace Moyoka as Vice Principal. Mr. Kemasong Joseph Ngem from CKC to CKC Tico as Vice Principal. Mr. Oka Bonaventure from CUIB Entrepreneurial High School to St. Joseph College Sase as Vice Principal. Brother Boniface Nkafu from Mutengene to the Catholic Religious Study Examination for secondary and primary schools as Coordinator. Mr. Ngulefa Kaloisos from Bishop Regan College to St. Joseph College Sase as Dean of Student Life 1. Brother Jude Fonye, brother of St. Martin de Porres Boya, to Ripakol as Dean of Student Life and Teacher. Mr. Tanyo Sylvester from Ripakol to Our Lady of Mount Kame as Accountant and Cashier. Miss Infunge Veronique, newly employed, to Our Lady of Grace Moyoka as Accountant and Teacher. Miss B. Florence Su, newly employed, to Ripakol Mutengene as Cashier and Teacher. Brother Ivo Wantaban from St. Joseph College Sase to Ripakol Mutengene as Stores Accountant and Studies. Mr. Benke Emi Enes Fonzenue from CKC Tico to CUIB Secondary School as Teacher. Yours in his service, Michael Miabeswe Bibi, Bishop of Boya.
Jude Mbaku, Editor-in-Chief, reading out the newly appointed or recruited staff. Now, Reverend Father Marcel Ewang has taken over from Father John Chanda as the new parish priest of St. Charles Luanga Parish, Moliko Boya. During this exercise, the new parish priest beseeched his entire team to collaborate with each other and strive for success. The handover took place today, July 5, 2024, supervised by the Chancellor and Vicar General of the Diocese of Boya. Nadejme witnessed the event and our reports.
The significant handover in the Diocese of Boya symbolizes the transition of leadership from the former parish priest, Reverend Father John Chamda, to the recently appointed Reverend Father Marcel Ewang of St. Charles Luanga Parish, Moliko Boya. He took over the mantle after the recent appointment and transfer of priests and personnel in the Diocese of Boya for the 2024-2025 liturgical year. During the handover exercise, Reverend Father John Chamda delivered a concise presentation outlining his activities carried out during his reign in ensuring the smooth functioning of the parish. The Vicar General, Reverend Father Jude Thaddeus, who answered present for the exercise, outlined his satisfaction.
The modalities for presenting notes which were given were followed to the letter. So we are really very happy with the report of Father John, which should be like a model for all other priests who have to present their reports at the end of their work.
The outgoing parish priest, Reverend Father John Chamda, contextualized his activities during his mandate. He praised the collaborative nature of Christians and encouraged his successor to be equal to the task.
I think we've also been able to get parishioners to respond to spiritual activities, novenas, both at parish level and also with their various apostolic prayer groups and action groups. Well, I want to let the incoming parish priest to know that this is a melting pot of cultures, a melting pot of ideas coming from the various backgrounds. But he has been here for the past year and he knows the community. I just want him to be steadfast, to have courage, and to brave the situation.
Reverend Father Maxwell Ewang expressed his gratitude to God and promised his attention would focus on the Bishop of the Diocese of Boya. He equally beseeched his entire team to cooperate with each other and work in unity.
My vision for the parish is working towards the goal of the diocese. That's unity and aligning the parish according to the mind of the church and according to the policy of the diocese. Inviting each and every one on board, we work at the same pace, we work together, nobody left behind. I'm here not to work for them, but to work with them. So we need everyone on board.
The Parish Pastoral Council of St. Charles Luanga Parish applauded the efforts of the outgoing parish priest who have served since 2016. To him, they are going to work hand in hand with the newly appointed parish priest to strive for success.
On behalf of the Parish Pastoral Council, on behalf of the parishioners of St. Charles Luanga, we want to say, Father John, wherever you are going, we'll continue to pray for you, continue to work with you. Assure our new parish priest, Father Ewang, that he will have all the support he needs from the Parish Pastoral Council to make sure that he achieves the mission for which the bishop has assigned to him.
The handover, which took place on Friday, July 5th, 2024, was supervised by the Vicar General and Chancellor of Boya Diocese.
Moving on, a delegation from the Tico-Dinere Catholic Men Association CMA recently paid a visit to inspect the progress at the CMA National Secretariat located in Moliko Boya. After their visit, the followers of St. Joseph left the construction site satisfied with what they saw, as you tell us, Hilarion Clinton.
Visit paid by a delegation from the Catholic Men Association of Tico-Dinere to their National Secretariat under construction in Moliko was to inspect the level of work at the construction site, as explained by the president of Tico-Dinere.
We took upon ourselves to say we should at least have a bird's eye view of the work ongoing. That is why we are here. We have met the project chairperson here. He has moved us around, shown us everything, the work, and it's wonderful. We lack words to express the wonderful work that is going on.
Bishop Michael Bibi's wish and aspiration of seeing this project completed before the bishops of Cameroon meet come 2025 for their annual seminar is of prime importance.
The aspiration of our bishop, the dream, is to see it used in 2025 during the Episcopal Conference in Boya. And with the face that we've seen, it definitely comes to fruition.
During the visit, the delegation from Teako Dineri were given a comprehensive tour of the infrastructure that will serve these followers of St. Joseph. Also present at the construction site during the visit was the diocesan president of CMA. He is happy with the visit paid by the delegation from Teako Dineri.
I want to thank them very much, and I want to assure them that we are bent on doing our best to make sure that this structure comes to realization. And I think that from the promises they have given us, I want to believe that they are going to act like ambassadors, that they will have to spread the message to all their various members.
The National Auditor of CMA is in charge of this project. He works as the project finance officer. According to him, such visits serve as motivation.
I'm also happy with this visit because sometimes when you are working in a place and nobody is even passing, it looks like you are not doing anything serious. But when people come like this and you get their impression, it shows that at least you are actually doing something that people appreciate. So we're very, very happy, and I can say that this is the first time that the Dineri officials are visiting me on the site.
The delegation expressed satisfaction with the progress made so far. Both Teako Dineri president and the diocesan president of CMA used the opportunity to beckon on others to take the initiative of visiting the site and supporting the project.
The project have gone beyond our estimate, and that is why we are using this opportunity to call all the diocesan presidents in the whole of our country to make sure that they also pay the visit and come and get first-hand knowledge. And when they get first-hand knowledge, it will be easier for them to make positive contribution towards this project.
Well, we are just appealing to all other CMA members that those who are still lagging behind, let them do everything possible to chip in the little. If those might move mountains.
As construction work progressed in a good footing towards completion, anticipation builds within CMA for the grand unveiling of the National Secretariat. The delegation from Teako Dineri left the construction site satisfied.
Seminarians and deacons in the Diocese of Buea have rounded off their the meeting with the Bishop of Buea. The annual event was another privilege for the seminarians to exchange with the local ordinary, as many of them took the advantage to discuss their zeal and challenges. Jamila Tutongtang has more.
Seminarians and deacons of the Diocese of Buea gather again for a closing session after 3 days of meeting with their Chief Shepherd, His Lordship Bishop Michael Bibi, yesterday, 3rd July 2024. The meeting was a one-on-one heartfelt talk session between the Bishop and the seminarians, who took advantage of the opportunity to share their challenges with His Lordship, who in turn gave them possible guide, encouraging them on how to handle these hitches.
In Sunday to today, Wednesday, we had one-on-one encounter with the bishop. We had to discuss with him concerning our formation, both the seminarians studying in St. John Paul II Major Seminary, Manfi Bachuntai, and the one studying in St. Thomas Aquinas Major Seminary, Bambui. So for these 3 days that we have been here with the bishop, I think it has really been a good one, enriching, because we discuss so many things with the bishop regarding our formation, and also we update the bishop concerning how we have been in the seminary from the beginning of this formation here right to the end of the formation here.
A meeting with the bishop. Throughout this meeting, we have had the opportunity to meet the bishop in person, one-on-one encounter, where we, the seminarians, tell the bishop how our formation here has been, our strengths and weaknesses. On the part of the bishop, he encourages us, give us his fatherly words to move on to the next stage of our formation and to hold on to our vocation, guarding them jealously. We are very grateful to the bishop because he has not only been a father to us, but a good shepherd which he is called to be, encouraging us, supporting us every day, giving us his fatherly word. Even though coming back from the seminary with our own weaknesses, but he has encouraged us and told us to move ahead with love.
According to some of the seminarians, getting to meet one another, especially those they had never met before, was just the perfect opportunity they needed to bond and equally share and encourage themselves as they strive to attain their goals of someday occupying the priestly office.
There are some of the seminarians we have not had the opportunity to know ourselves before, but given this enlarged meeting of all the seminarians and the bishop, we get to meet them, and getting to meet them for me was a reincarnation of who I used to be, where I used to be when I also began, and how I used to look at the elder brothers. And with this, I saw it as a moment to get closer to them, because there's a kind of a psychological gap which makes them not wanting to come to you, and yet you have a lot which you can help them and impart on them, which will help to better their lives and help them to also be convinced of the journey they are making. So I decided as a person to go to them, to bridge the gap and help them as I could with maybe words of encouragement, words of advice, and even just casual discussions, laugh out, make fun and all that. And I think this is how priests have to and should relate in the diocese.
Being with so many people from different seminaries, St. Thomas Aquinas Major Seminary, Bambri Murphy, it has given us an opportunity to know them more. They are senior brothers, so throughout the formation year, we haven't had the time to meet them, to know their classes. So throughout this time, we have been with them, discussed with them, interact with them, know their names, where they are from, their parishes, their origin, and also, why not, they have shared to us their experiences they had since as they are senior seminarians, telling us the junior seminarians how the life of a seminarian and in the future priestly life will be in the future.
The meeting ended with singing and dancing and a mass to round off the 3 days of get-together with the bishop on July 4th, 2024, before they all dispersed to their various destinations.
You're welcome back on to sports now. The CAF Disciplinary Committee, after hearing in regards to accusations on Samuel Eto'o-Fees for corruption at the helm of Fecafoot office, in a press release on 4th of July 2024, declared Eto'o not guilty. And earlier on the 3rd of June, the Fecafoot boss Samuel Eto'o-Fees and his emergency committee appointed some personnel to some post responsibilities. Details of this with our reporter John Philip Wanla.
In a high-profile case involving the Fecafoot boss Samuel Eto'o on charges of manipulation of matches and breaching of ethics and principles of integrity, an official statement released on Thursday, 4th of July 2024 by the Disciplinary Board of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, after sitting on this case involving the Fecafoot boss. The board ruled that there is insufficient proof that Mr. Samuel Eto'o-Fees and Mr. Valentine Quine are guilty of match manipulation. However, the board found out that Eto'o had seriously violated ethical principles, integrity and sportsmanship as stipulated in Article 2, Paragraph 3 of CAF Statutes by signing a brand ambassador contract with company 1xBet in exchange for remuneration and fined him an amount of $200,000 US. Earlier on the 3rd of July, during a video conference with the emergency committee at the Fecafoot office in the presence of the 2nd, 3rd and 4th vice president of Fecafoot, had as agenda the appointment of some members of the technical, administrative and medical support staff of the men's Team A football selection, the men's under-23 football selection, men's under-20 football selection, under-17 and under-15. So too for the selection for the women's national senior football selection, the under-20 women's football selection, the under-17 and under-15. These to the provisions of Decree number 2014/385 of September 28, 2014 on the organization and functioning of the national football selections by the President of Cameroon.
Jean-Philippe Wanlai reporting there. Now out of Cameroon, the risk of sexual and gender-based violence has increased from 15 to 12.5% in the Sahara and Mediterranean as more migrants and refugees embark on dangerous routes towards the Mediterranean and Europe. And 25 soldiers accused of fleeing fighting against Rwandan-backed M23 rebels in the Democratic Republic of Congo have been slammed to death sentence in a one-day trial on Wednesday, July 4. Details of these stories and more in the next report. A recent report published by the UN Refugee and Migration Agencies and the Mixed Migration Center has revealed that more migrants and refugees in Africa are moving northward towards the Mediterranean and Europe, facing dangerous routes in the Sahara where criminal groups subject them to various forms of abuse. Vincent Cochetel, the UNHCR Special Envoy for the Western and Central Mediterranean situation, revealed that many people say they are aware of someone who has died on the way, normally more on the land route than on the sea route. The risk of sexual and gender-based violence has also increased to 15% from 12.5% in the previous report. The report, titled "On This Journey, No One Cares If You Live or Die," highlights that land crossings in Africa are twice as deadly as sea routes across the Mediterranean, known as the deadliest maritime path for migrants globally. The Lebanese Hezbollah group has claimed responsibility for launching more than 200 rockets at several Israeli military bases on Thursday in response to a strike that killed one of its senior commanders. The Iran-backed militant group's attack was one of the largest in the ongoing conflict along the Lebanon-Israel border, with tensions escalating in recent weeks. The Israeli military reported that numerous projectiles and suspicious aerial targets had entered its territory from Lebanon, many of which were intercepted. There were no immediate reports of casualties, however. And over to the DRC, where 25 soldiers accused of fleeing fighting against M23 rebels in the Democratic Republic of Congo were sentenced to death in a one-day trial on Wednesday. A military court in North Kivu found them guilty of theft, fleeing the enemy and violating orders, among other charges. The army has been fighting the Rwanda-backed M23 insurgency in the region for more than 2 years, as well as facing violence from other militia. Army officials on Tuesday detained 27 soldiers and 4 of their civilian wives who had already received goods stolen from shops in a nearby village. They were brought before Butembo Garrison Military Court the next day, and one soldier was handed a 10-year prison sentence for robbery, while the 4 wives and another soldier were acquitted. And that was the package we had for you this day. But before we take leave of you, we remind you of our top stories. His Lordship Michael Bibi, Bishop of Boya, appoints some college staff and personnel to new functions ahead of the upcoming academic year. In this edition, we brought to you the full list. Also, Reverend Father Marcel Ewang takes over from Reverend Father John Chanda as parish priest of St. Charles Luanga Parish, Moliko, this Friday, supervised by the Diocesan Chancellor and Vicar General. And a team of CMA members from the Tico Deanery have paid a visit to supervise the ongoing project of the National Secretariat in this diocese. They left Boya satisfied with work done so far. Many thanks for viewing, and a huge thanks for staying with us throughout the week. That concludes this edition of Divine Mercy Prime. To take the rendezvous for next Monday, God willing, we will be here. I have been Sama Eileen. Have a blessed weekend.